All right, let's dive in, shall we? So this is 4-color Enigmatic Incarnation here. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another enchantment. If you do, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus that enchantment's cost. So notably, this does not find enchantments out of our deck, and it does not sacrifice creatures unless those creatures are also enchantments, or things that often get confused with this card. So what is this deck looking to do? We've got a number of 2-mana enchantments that we really don't mind sacrificing. They get value when they come into play, and we turn these into various 3-drops. And then we've got 4 copies of Othakaya here that kill something and then hang out, and then we can turn these into various 4-drops that offer utility. You'll also notice we have a pair of 5-drops here, and the reason why we have these is because if we have 2 incarnations, we can have them sacrifice each other to fetch up Yarok and Tolsimir, which is really good against the aggressive decks in the format. So you get Yarok, and then you get Tolsimir, and you make a 3/3 gain 6, fight something. You make another 3/3 gain 6 and can fight something. Another curve in this deck that's been very reasonable in the past for us is if you play Incarnation on 4, you can play Conqueror's Death on 5, exile one of their things, and then turn the Conqueror's Death immediately into a Dream Trawler with the Incarnation, which is really sweet. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here with this one and see how it goes. It might still be a touch loud for me. If I need to adjust it for you all, I can do it again. I'm gonna drag the master down a little bit again. Am I one of those Americans who wear shoes out? I do not wear shoes in the house. However, we've still been going outside. We've still been going outside with the kids, so I wore the kinetics around a little bit before agreeing to do the promotion stuff for them. I'd never owned an expensive pair of shoes before. I think like the most I'd ever spent on a pair of shoes before the kinetics was like 30 or 40 bucks. And honestly, much like getting a higher quality mattress or a higher quality like chair to sit in for my desk, like spending a little bit of extra money on the things that you spend a lot of time with or doing is generally a good idea. And it was funny. It actually hadn't hit me how much more comfortable the shoes were than my cheap shoes until I had to mow the lawn yesterday, and I didn't want to cut the lawn in my nice new shoes and get them all like full of grass and stuff. So like I swapped back in to my throwaway shoes, my old pair, and like just the difference between like walking on a quality pair of shoes versus not was like it was like yeah, these are actually a lot better. Fox Slide IQR build around sounds fantastic. Razamil, thanks for the support. We had a donation there too. Let's get the Menace Lord build around for New Standard. Sounds good, She2s. I appreciate the support. I already have 4 lands here, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and bottom these. I want to draw a bunch of lands eventually, but like I have all my colors, so. I did have an alright day off yesterday. We played outside with the kids. We cut the grass. Nope. Same old for the most part. Oh, I guess, you know, in the world of 2020 where we're living and things that are kind of exciting or kind of not, our Meyer order for pickup ended up getting filled. After it was scheduled for Friday morning and it got filled Monday night. Monday night after I signed off, someone actually filled it. So that was nice. Wasn't expecting that to actually get filled. Hey, Percy, thank you for the 24 months support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't unfortunately get to gain the life because they get to Witch's Oven this, but I think I want to spend my mana and take their pressure off the table. Am I gonna make a TikTok? I don't think so. I unfortunately don't have a discount code for the Reebok shoes. They do, the larger ad things tend to, I don't have as much push with them, and I guess they don't understand that having some kind of code helps them track referrals better. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and grab Night of Autumn here and kill their Witch's Oven, is the plan. I did, Percy. Seems really good. Thanks for the 25 months, Demox. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Questing Beast seems not great. I guess it blocks. I don't know. I want to hit my land drops for Dream Trawler, right? As someone who works in market research, you would not believe how hard it is to convince people to measure the effectiveness of their advertising. Yeah, I believe you. Alright, so Conquer's Death here, like, isn't super useful, but it turns into a Dream Trawler here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it into a Dream Trawler. Thanks for the 27 months, Little Star. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, so we're gonna bin the second Dream Trawler here, I think. So that way we can Teferi bounce the Croxa next turn. Or we're not. Or we're not. It's pretty good. Alright, so we're going to 8. Got it. Was the sound effect from the punch way louder than everything else there? I feel like it was, right? Why is that? Well, I guess the music is technically lower than everything else. Alright, let's put that up and just slide the master down a little bit more, huh? It was a big fun punch. It almost felt personal. I agree. I was a little taken aback. Well, I was hoping to draw a spell there. Unfortunately, we did not. I guess I'll get this. Yikes. When are we going to auction off a pair of autograph Reeboks? I don't know about that one. Man, it's still louder. How is it still louder? Alright, whatever. I think it's okay. Is it offensively loud? Sounds good, Percy. Thanks for the biddies. I mean, they're all at the same level, right? I guess that's SFX. I guess I'll pull it down. It's fine. Alright. Nah, it's actually, I guess that's actually great. That's actually great. So we get to attack with both of these, And then this finds a plains, which is irrelevant, but yeah, it gets Deputy off the Incarnation, right? Which then takes the Kroxa. And even if they kill the Deputy, the Kroxa's not attacking anymore. The last two favorite leagues are really good. They're really good most days. That's why I tag a favorite. Been a sweet highlight of this deck so far. Hey, mister. Thanks for the sub gift. I appreciate it. We're missing the overlay. Yeah, that's totally what I forgot. I forgot to set up. I'll do that after this match. What am I doing here? Night of Autumn sounds good. Some amount to Aether Gust is probably good. Teferi seems medium. Ceratops and Questing Beast seem medium. Do I want to leave one extra 4-drop in? I might want to leave one extra 4-drop in. Maybe Uro's fine. I have a lot of 3s already, though. I don't think this is a Disfigure matchup. Yeah, Reebok. We got the real sponsors now. I'm a real content producer. Yeah, this seems fine. We'll fetch a blue source, and then that gives us Aether Gust, and hopefully that blue source helps us use Omen of the Sea to find other resources here. Soon to be a father of 3. The only better shoe sponsor you could get would be New Balance. Thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate it, Sandals. Apparently, I didn't realize that New Balance was a meme. I'm gonna grab an island here. I'm not hip. I'm not hip with the meme shoes, chat. So, people that have followed my content, you know that I talked about setting up Windows, and I'm streaming from a Windows system for the first time today and forever, because I wanted to see if there was a software issue causing my random internet disconnection, since setting up a static IP address didn't resolve it. And double bottom here, looking for a white source. Does anybody know offhand before I Google it? I'm trying to install the Deckmaster plugin on my Windows computer, and when I run the exe, Windows tells me it won't run the application because it's trying to protect me. For the love of God, let me do what I want to do with my computer, Windows. Where's the... It doesn't give me an option to run it. It just, like, I double click on it, and it says, Windows Defender has prevented this unrecognized app from running, and there's only a don't run button. There's no run button. There's no do it anyways button. I have to run it as an admin. Right click, I have to run it as admin. Okay, so I just can't run it as my normal user? I just can't run it as my normal user? No, run it as administrator also gives me the same message. Click more info. Okay. Oh, I have to click more info. Sure. That makes sense. We're super dead here because we missed. If you click the more info button, it appears to work. Side Windows. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. I'm gonna run it back. Let's draw a white source this game on time. This is fine. Has all my colors and stuff. Hey, no problem, silly cheese. I've been enjoying playing the game a bunch. It's fun. The helping people build characters is one of the more interesting parts of the game, so. Alright, is the extension alive now? I think the extension claims to be alive. You need to reload the stream to get the extension running. You might have to, yeah. I guess I can pull up my own stream and check and see if it's working. Let's do that. I guess I can pull up my own stream and check and see if it's... Womp womp. I'm just so sick of it all, Marty. The reading and dealing with Bernie supporters on my statuses from yesterday, it honestly kind of broke me. I can't. I can't. There's too much crap on my side of the field too, and I pretty firmly believe that, like, if you create an online space for people to communicate in, you should be obligated and responsible for the things that get posted there. And even if I didn't post in the politics channel a lot, I read through a lot of it, and just everything going on right now, I just need to bail out for a bit. I'm gonna leave the COVID channel up for news stuff related to that. Let's see if a couple of Dream Trawlers can drag us kicking and screaming across the finish line, huh? Yeah, we did. I see people using the new command. Reebok is, Reebok makes shoes, among other things, I believe. They've partnered with myself and a number of other content creators to promote their new Zig Kinetica brand, which I have a pair of. If you want to see me with my wonderful Zig Kineticas, there's a picture up on Twitter. A few weeks, Marty. It took a while to get the product because of shipping times right now and stuff like that. We need to record a new Oko rap with the shoes on. Alright, so they're going to be able to haste... They're going to be able to hate... No, not necessarily. If they have a claim the firstborn, they could haste Croxa next turn. Thanks for the quarter of your scar. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Jeff's picture does not include the shoes on his feet. I believe it's because Jeff does not have feet. You'll never know. I'll never tell you. Yeah, claim being a pseudo haste for Croxa is sweet. Although I wonder if claim's a card they left in post board. I feel like they claimed their Croxa game 1, but I feel like that's a card that probably comes out against us here. Oh, they did mill a claim. You're right. Sure. Oh yeah, they did claim my deputy this game. You're right. You're right. Sorry, it's been a morning, chat. It's been a morning. Vapor, thank you for the quarter of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Keeping me around. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and discard Birth here so we don't lose 3 life. Yep. So, have to block here, right? I'm taking 10. I have to block, like, if I would have had a spell, I wouldn't have to chump block. I could have blocked here, but because I didn't have a spell, I have to chump block. Just, like, super unfortunate beats. Beats by Dr. Croxa. Feels bad, man. Not even sure I have another draw here that keeps us alive. Alright, so... What if I gain 8 and have 2 chump blockers? That keeps me alive, right? Can I knight this oven? If I knight the oven, they'll loop the cat here and put me to 11. And then they'll attack, put me to 8. I'll go block, take 5, go to 3. Yeah, I think I kill the oven. Yeah, I counted the Croxa trigger. I said the Croxa trigger. I said the Croxa trigger puts me to 8. And then I go block, block, take 5, go to 3. Should have kept the land for hexproof on upkeep. I don't think so. What removal spell am I protecting myself from in that instance that doesn't just kill the Dream Trawler during my following turn? Would be my question to you. This was a really good draw. So I can't escape this. Is there anything in my deck I can draw that's better than escaping this? Or should I escape it pre-combat and get the extra point of life? If I escape this pre-combat, I'm going to go up to 8. This will go to 6, 7, so I'll go to 15. I'll block here, and then I'm taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, if I hit Conqueror's Death, I'm not casting it. If I hit Deputy of Detention, I'd want to cast it, I think, and take the Croxa out of play. Tolsimir would be a good draw. Yeah, I think I forego the 1 point of life to try and hit like a Deputy or a Tolsimir. Okay, and we missed, which feels bad, but it is what it is. I want to prioritize leaving things in here that I would like to get back with the Conqueror's Death later, perhaps. So I don't know if the game's necessarily going to last that long. Ugh, when it rains, it pours, chat. When it rains, it pours. Yeah, I don't think the 1 point matters. I block here, and they're hitting me for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're gonna exactly kill me this turn out there because I didn't gain the extra life. This is an extra 3. I think I might actually be... I think because we didn't have a spell to discard here, we're gonna lose. Right? Because I'm gonna take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they're gonna deal... This will deal 3, 4. I think we were dead regardless, right? I believe the oven kills us here. And the oven, with not having a spell in 3 cards, kills us. If we would have had a spell to discard to this to not lose 3 life, we would have been okay here. Yeah, this loop alone kills us. Close game. Little unfortunate to not hit our color in the second game after we had a scry 2 and a draw on the draw. A little unfortunate to flood out there. Just how Magic goes. Maker Mom, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. You think Soul Diviner gets much better with these counters from my QR? I'm not sure if I agree with that. I'm not sure that those are really counters you want to be removing, necessarily. Yeah, the Mayhem Devil into... Their runners were pretty good. So, this hand is fine. It doesn't have any early plays, but has a scry to hopefully help find one. And the fact that I'm on the play and have all my colors makes me inclined to keep this. I'm going to bottom this. I just want my first couple of draws to be like any 2 or 3 mana play, ideally, here. Listen, chat, the Diamond 4 ranked floor is home. It's where we're gonna sit for the next couple of days. Well, you know. So now I have to decide, do I want to play Ceratops on 4, or do I Incarnation on 4, hope I don't die, so I can Conquer's Death into Dream Trawler on 5? Play any cube sealed? No, I don't really. Well, that makes this choice easy. I don't really enjoy playing limited for the most part. Cube's a little bit higher power level than typical limited, but it's still not something that I like. Look to really play on average. Deck Q staying plentiful these days still, so. Well, boop. And we're dead. Sounds like it. This hand wasn't great against mono red. Night of Autumn sounds good. Aether Gust sounds good. Is Reebok affiliated with Adidas? Are they the same brand? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not some huge corporation. I don't have a bunch of people vetting everything. Most companies under capitalism are evil. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. Is pretty close to home. I think I leave in Dream Trawlers at the top end because I want to be able to draw some of those to gain some life at the end. What a nice way to discard all responsibility. I'm just so sick of it all. If I'm being completely honest, as far as politics goes, after dealing with Bernie supporters yesterday, I really have very little desire to ever participate in the political process in the United States ever again. I'm gonna show up and vote Democrat, but fighting for all of it just seems like a really big headache. Just a constant toxicity. Just pretty done. I'm ready to be checked out. Ultimatums are back. That's exciting. Getting a different set of them. Gonna bottom that. Alright, so we both have 5 cards here, right? So they're not drawing anything. Yes. Yes, if you really ask you what happened yesterday with my comments regards to politics is, the number of people who claim to support progressives, who cheer me on when I call out nonsense and intellectually dishonest things and bad takes from the GOP that then do similar things themselves are, it's frustrating, and I'm pretty over it. Feel free to check my Twitter timeline because I wasn't live yesterday, but just the whole thing is just bleh. Alright, so I don't think I need to take this off the table. I think I'm just going to sacrifice the Oathakaya and go get my 2/3 and draw a card here. Sacking the Oathakaya this turn is preferable because this way next turn I can play the second Oathakaya out without sacrificing this. I got some value off of it. If they go land Torbrain here, they get to ding me for 3 with the trigger, but then I get to trade. I took the Bernie banner down a while ago because I think continuing to encourage people to go out and vote in the current climate of what's going on with everything with regards to COVID-19 is irresponsible at best. The fact that Wisconsin didn't push their primary yesterday is deplorable at best. And I think that while Bernie Sanders is not 0% to get the Democratic nomination, he should drop out at this point. I think continuing to encourage people to show up and vote is going to get people killed. I think in a normal election year, I would want Bernie Sanders to stay in. In a normal election year, I would want Bernie Sanders to stay in till the very end or until there was no possible chance he could get the nomination. But this isn't a normal election year, and pretending that it is going to get people killed. I agree. In a normal election year, I would say, yeah, let's ride the Bernie banner all the way down to the end, but it's not a normal election year, and people that are pretending that it are in my opinion, they're hurting people. Alright, the actual important thing to share on my Twitter timeline, though, is this. Please, if you could go weigh in on my important pie poll. It's necessary that you participate in my pie poll. Yeah, your state's doing mail-in ballots for primaries, but many states aren't. And because they're not, people are going to die because they're going to the polls. That's just the hard truth. There are a lot of hard truths we have to accept right now. When am I going to show you my preview card? Well, lucky for you, Magic Arena emailed me yesterday, and the email contained what claimed to be my exclusive preview card. I have something really awesome and exciting worked up in terms of content to unveil this exclusive preview to the rest of you. People are laughing. Wait, is there some kind of joke? Wait, you got it too? Are you telling me Wizards of the Coast didn't really send me an exclusive preview? Is that what you're telling me, chat? That's okay. We don't need Wizards of the Coast to sponsor us. We got real sponsors. Check out our Zig Kineticas here from Reebok. They're partnering with a number of content producers and online personalities to promote their new line of shoes. As someone who had never owned a quality pair of shoes before, they're nice. Something I've learned as I've gotten older, the motto of spend your money where you spend your time is definitely one that holds true. Don't buy cheap beds, cheap office chairs, cheap shoes. These are things you'll regret later. I'm gonna go ahead and do this and just get rid of the token. I guess I need to spend a bunch more money. You know, honestly, it's so easy for me to spend money on Raid because I spend so much time playing it. Like, just set a budget and then don't feel bad about spending your budget is my advice. You know, what is your entertainment budget in any given month? How much of your entertainment comes from Raid? Spend that money there. You know, how much Magic do you play? Spend the proportion on Magic, etc. I agree, German Space Ace. And just for the record, I'm going to show up and I'm going to cast a ballot for Joe Biden in November. I think that's important. But to continue to engage on the regular with it, I need to tap out for a bit. I'm a single man living with roommates. My entertainment budget's almost my paycheck. Save a little bit of money. Save some for a rainy day. I don't know about putting it in an IRA right now. The markets are a little but like, you know, you can get a savings account at like 2% in some places. If we could draw a green source, this game would be great. Right? I mean, like, we had worse draws there. I am so sad, Scap. I was so ready to give them money for a new battle pass. The fact that they didn't have it ready is incredibly disappointing. I'm gonna give them their Steam Kim back, but I think it's right to trade here. Oh, they ordered the blockers wrong. Awkward. Alright, so we're going to 10 here. We're hopefully going to scry into a green source. Or we're dead. We might be dead. I think they said their battle pass is supposed to roll out like sometime next month. They said it's going to be a little bit, which is unfortunate. Thanks for the 5 months time walk. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, you know. You know, it feels bad, but like this is the risk. This is the risk of playing this archetype, right? Like playing 4 colors does have a real cost. It's easy to write games like that off to variance, but it's also important to recognize that like that variance we're experiencing there is variance we have control over, right? Like we chose to play a 4-color deck. And that's a risk we're assuming. MagnifyMoney.com is a great site to try and find best accounts for various types of savings, loans, credit cards. That's interesting. I haven't heard of that one before. stand up for a bit. Also, mentioning spending your money where you spend your time, never buy an uplift desk. They're pieces of crap. I might have to see if I can get a new desk before we end up finishing that room with the delay of all this. This deck is just, it's so annoying that it just like doesn't go up some of the time. Can you ask why the desk is good? Well, if you saw what just happened there, I don't know if you were paying attention to my webcam while I went it up. I pushed my setting, it started going up, it stopped. I pushed it again, it started going up, it stopped. The electronics in it are bad. The reason why contractors are offering a bunch of money off right now, Llama Copter, is because, the reason why they're offering a bunch of money off is because people don't want outside people in their home. It would be incredibly irresponsible to invite other people into my home right now. Getting my stream room done is not an essential service that needs to happen. And it's inconvenient that I need to wait to get my stream room done. But with what's going on in the world right now, it's not about convenience. It's okay to inconvenience yourself to slow the spread of COVID-19. If it is not essential, do not go out and do it. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub, Rita. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Why Sticks? Thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. I actually have heard really good things about the IKEA standing desks. Also, like, even just not even considering the fact that, like, my wife is 7 months pregnant. What day is it? What year is it? You know, like, just the effects of COVID on non-pregnant people, on just normal people. All non-essential things should not be done right now. If you can avoid contact with people, avoid that contact. People asking what the 2-year sub did to get banned there. That 2-year sub was the final push I needed to mostly check out of politics, like we were talking about a second ago. That 2-year sub is a Bernie supporter who gave the blisteringly awful take that Joe Biden is comparable to Donald Trump. And listen, Joe Biden is nowhere near my candidate of choice. In fact, aside from Bloomberg, he was the bottom of the list of people I wanted to get the Democratic nomination. But comparing Joe Biden to Donald Trump and saying he's as bad shows a fundamental disconnect from reality that's as bad as people who are supporting Donald Trump still have. That is a statement that is FUD, that is not based in what facts or reality actually have to say. A lot of people, I don't like them, therefore this, correct. And a lot of people really don't seem to understand. And honestly, this is a big problem with GOP supporters too, you can be critical of people while you support them. And maybe if those people would be willing to be critical of Donald Trump, they'd realize he's an idiot and like what he's doing. But like, it's okay to like cast a ballot for Joe Biden and say, I don't like Joe on these issues and this is a problem and we need to strive to be better. I think I'm keeping all my incarnations here, so I'm gonna top that one. It's unfortunate I'm not going to get to sacrifice this and get a Dream Trawler, though. Do you have to get the Zig shoes, or is it all shoes? That's a good question. I don't know if it's specifically for the Zig Kinetica. I think my promotion is just for the Zigs. Alright, Republicans and Democrats are two sides of the same coin. Listen, I know you're a new sub, but bugger off. Bugger off. Anyone thinking Republicans and Democrats are remotely comparable doesn't have an understanding of reality at best and is a flipping idiot at worst. Henders, thanks for the 3rd of year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Your both sides crap is never welcome here because all takes that aren't based in reality aren't welcome here. Thanks for a 3rd of a year, Henders. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The Caffeinated, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. If you think what's currently going on in the United States and what happened up until even before COVID is the normal, I'd really encourage you to take a history lesson and look at the 8 years Obama was there. Obama didn't end up being as progressive as the platform that he ran on. That's a fair critique. But saying that he's comparable and similar to Trump is nonsense. It's okay to say you don't like them. It's okay to say their policies don't align with yours, but with what you'd like to see, but keep a basis in reality. What's not okay while being critical of them is to just make stuff up and lie. You want a really easy comparison to show you that they're not the same? Go look at the NRA scorecards on average of Republicans versus Democrats. On that one very key issue alone, just go compare the two. There's lots of issues like that you can easily compare them on, but that's a really easy, straightforward one to illustrate a key point. I think I just want to draw a card here and try and generate a little card advantage. Correct. You could do that for most issues. If you're someone who's not really informed, and if you're saying both sides are the same, you can't possibly be informed. Both sidesism, and they're all the same, ignores the fact that when people vote, Democrats tend to win. And both sides are the same is a message that's intended to create voter apathy and encourage people to not vote. So, if you think you're being neutral by saying both sides are the same, you're not. You're actually promoting the GOP. Just for reference, that's how reality functions. Thanks, Risu.
Let us have a storied battle worth retelling.
That's another good one. Look at the voting records of justices appointed by Republicans versus Democrats. Thanks for the tip, Fat Butters. My aunt died in the hospital the other day due to cancer. Because of COVID-19, no one could say goodbye, not even her husband. Thanks for the entertainment, for keeping my mind off it. Sorry it's not much. Thanks for the support and sorry for what you're going through. What do you think of Trump's take? Mail-in voting is unfair to Republicans. It is unfair to Republicans. Anybody who understands how politics works knows that vote by mail is unfair to Republicans. Republicans lose when people vote. So mail-in voting makes it easy for people to vote. Yeah, we have a Reebok sponsorship. You can check out their new line, Zig Kineticas. There's a pair of me with my kicks on my Twitter. I agree. The DNC is a poorly run institution who puts forward lukewarm medium candidates like Joe Biden. Is that the biggest sponsor ever? In terms of size of the corporation sponsoring, yeah, I believe so. Correct, Fall Not Dead. It does speak volumes. They did, Reebok actually reached out. All the Fade 2 Karma sponsors are on the ticker there above the chat. They reached out to a number of content producers and social media influencers. I'm an influencer, chat. Are we dead? I feel kind of dead. This, this matchup is one of the reasons why I shelved this deck. There are a lot of... This deck's fine against the aggressive. This deck's fine against aggressive decks in the format, but it's really not great against these decks that go even further over the top than it can. Nitro Mario, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Has a sponsor ever tried to influence my content? Yeah, there's usually like there's negotiations that happen. Like when you're talking with sponsors, you go back and forth about, they ask what you're willing to do, you negotiate compensation, stuff like that. And I often push back on things that I'm not comfortable doing or don't want to do. We're super dead here. And I have in fact turned down sponsorships for things that I don't like or don't think are good products, or like I tried and they weren't good. It's actually funny, like the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, we did a couple of sponsored streams with them, and people were like, oh, you just took this sponsorship for the money. And while Raid Shadow Legends paid me a healthy amount of money, I didn't do the sponsorship because they paid me. Like, if you're in the subs Discord, you know, if you've poked in that channel, how much I'm in there. I play that game a ton. Like, I turn down sponsorships from products I don't like, and I turn down sponsored segments from games I don't like all the time. Thanks for the 19 months, Piff. I appreciate that. Welcome back. If you play it, you probably play it a ton. All right, what are we doing here? I don't think Night of Autumn is good enough here. Is this... Yeah, it's actually part of what happened with Tempo Storm, right? Like, Tempo Storm wanted me to run 6 minutes of ads per hour, and I said, no, that's not acceptable, and we parted ways. Like, it cost me money when I left Tempo Storm not agreeing to run that ad volume, but I also didn't want to do that. What am I trimming here? Is Oath's probably not very good. I want to bring in Treacherous Blessing to grind some cards. Are these 5s actually good here? Kenrith's probably better than Tolsimir here, huh? Birth is probably not super useful. Need one more cut. I'm trim my Guardmage. If you enjoy grindy team building games, Raid's fun. Raid reminds me of a mix of Diablo 2 meets Pokemon, meets the Pokemon video game series. It's one of the reasons why I latched on and enjoyed it. It's a lot like Pokemon if all the Pokemon battles were like 2v2 or 4v4 or 5v5. Donate to check the mana base of a deck. Sure, Arcane. I mean, I always check the mana base. I always check the mana base when like people submit things too. If you're not in the subs Discord, poking into the subs Discord, other folks in there, and myself included, are also happy to do things. What level of donation could interest you in a cube run? I think I'd look for a $50 donation to do a cube run on Arena. Usually I look for 100 to do a limited on Moto, so half of that for limited on Arena sounds fine. I think I'm bottoming this. I want the Incarnation. I don't think I want Kenny at this point. Yeah, if you've played Pokemon, the fact that blue is good against green catches you and green is good against red, that definitely, on my muscle memory messes that up. Neat shooters. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a few different cards like that before we're done. So I already have both of my Uros out of my deck here. So if I play this, yeah, I think I just Uro this turn so that way I can Conqueror's Death next turn. So this way if they Nissa on 5, I can Conqueror's Death her. Definitely want to keep another one of those. I didn't realize you weren't interested in a discussion. Throwing out a bad faith talking point not based in reality is not the start of discussion. It's the spreading of FUD. It's spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You don't start a discussion by starting off with a lie. You don't start a discussion by starting off with a GOP talking point if you're interested in having that discussion in good faith. Lots of other places tolerate that, and if less places tolerated people leading on bad faith, dishonest talking points, we wouldn't be in the position we're in likely with Donald Trump currently elected president. I'm clicking a flash drive, I need to put it down. I just wanted to have a discussion, man. Why'd you time me out?
I know I noted this somewhere.
Most people also probably aren't used to subbing somewhere and then having someone not like try and stroke them off. Like, hey, ChinRX. RXN, thanks for the 5 months. I'm fortunate enough that, like, this is extra money for us. This is like, you know, I like doing this as a job, but if this wasn't my job, I would be okay. Like, I have a master's degree in math. I talk to recruiters for programming work every other month or so. Like, I do this because I like it. But, like, it doesn't pay me enough to let people spread FUD that's damaging to the country and planet that my children have to grow up and live in. So I played the Conqueror's Death here, even though they have a Conqueror's Death, because I have another Conqueror's Death. So they can Conquer Death, my Conqueror's Death, and I can Conqueror's Death, there's Conqueror's Death, the Conqueror's Death, my Conqueror's Death. Yo, dog. You tier 3 subs, get the full art stroke Arena has been hiding. Asking the real questions. Thanks, Abyssal Snowstorm. Do you recommend getting a master's degree? I've got a bachelor's in comp sci, but I feel I need a master's. My general advice regarding master's degrees, and this is obviously your mileage will vary. This does not apply to actual everyone in all situations, etc., etc. In general, for most master's degrees, I would recommend don't go to grad school unless they're paying for it. If your job's gonna pay for your master's degree, or you can work as a graduate assistant and get your tuition for free along with a small stipend, that's what I did personally, then I think it's fine. But I would not have spent my own money getting a master's degree. I don't think that would have been a good use of my own money. Vandangos, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. Hope you're having a good one. Do you have an understanding of how we'll get the Godzilla styles on Arena? I believe we get some of the styles with the pre-purchase pack, but I'm not 100% on that. I got my master's because I finished student teaching during undergrad and decided I didn't want to teach high school. And I applied to a grad program and got a TA spot, and then I only paid for books for my grad degree. I also really liked school, so I was like happy to be able to go to school at a pretty minimal cost. You get 10 with the purchase pack. And then the 90-pack purchase, you get all 18. Okay, sure. Thanks for your advice. Thankfully, my current employer gives a 6K allowance each year for... Yeah, that I would... If your current employer gives you an allowance like that, I would recommend going part-time, spending whatever their maximum allowance is. Is that how you recommend becoming a professional MTG streamer? Yeah, exactly. I also have a healthy dose of reality for anybody that wants to become a professional MTG streamer. My first recommendation would be don't. My second recommendation would be don't quit your day job. I never expected this to become a job. When it looked like it could become a job, I leapt on the opportunity. Professional Candy Crunch streamer. Thanks for the 19 months, Day. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm about to finish my master's degree after 5 years part-time. My employer paid for 90% of it, and I had to cover a few expenses outside. Yep, that's a great way to do it. That's a big boy. Again, just feels like a really good example of why this archetype didn't age gracefully as this format matured. Opponents just got so many cards. You know, someday in a far-off land when the world settles down, so maybe never, and time permits, I would really like to be able to get a PhD. I enjoy going to school, and I like math, and I'd like to do that at some point, I think. What was the tipping point for you that made it possible for me to be a full-time streamer? When it started making a full-time income. I believe the point where I said to Christy, okay, I want to take a crack at this. Let's put the kids in daycare, hire a sitter, whatever it is. I think we hired a sitter and then eventually did daycare. I think I had about 1,000 current subscribers for the second month in a row. Crazy Duck, thanks for the tier 2. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And again, you also have to understand that, like, I was a stay-at-home dad before that, so it wasn't like I was quitting a full-time job to attempt to stream, and my stream was already making revenue. My ears have never recovered from the pre-center days. God bless the people that have been here for a long time. I agree, Hacksaw. There's also one of the schools that's within driving distance of where I live has a PhD program that I wouldn't mind doing.
Let's slow this down. I'll protect you.
All right, so what does Mrs. Hoagland do? Christy is a business analyst for a major insurance company. So, I don't have triple green here, unfortunately. If I had a third green, I could haste this and kill this. What do I want to Conqueror's Death? Is it crazy to Conqueror's Death this and attack Teferi? I could also just death their death, but they don't have anything in play. I'm gonna exile their Teferi. Maybe we can just position to where the chapter 3 on this doesn't have anything to get back. We're hoping to, like, fade another Teferi. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. It is pretty reasonable, Conqueror. Also, like, you should watch it auto battle a couple times, because sometimes you can make small adjustments to your team or your composition once you see what the AI logic wants to do. Yeah, I don't really have any improvements for this. You know, something I never did that I need to do, I'm gonna make a note to do it, is update standard page on website with disclaimer. A lot of decks like this that felt competitive early in the standard season, just they really aren't anymore. As these Bant decks got super optimized, they just haven't felt nearly as good. Like, what these decks were doing was novel at the start, and it just hasn't kept up reasonably as the other decks got more optimized. I think this deck's fine against red black sack. I think it's playable against mono red. I think the Bant decks and the other big go over the top decks like the Fires decks just really struggle for this to be good. So, all right, what are we doing? We're going to dive on into Historic for the rest of the day. I've really been enjoying that format. We are going to start off with quite the sweet brew here. We've got a big white deck, which is a mono white artifacts deck with some ramp in it. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get my client restarted and everything set up and flipped over for the next one. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. I was looking to see if anyone who's done a Swiss pairings library in Python, and guess whose face unexpectedly popped up on GitHub. Yeah, that actually, speaking of grad school, one of the many things I did during grad school was that.